turned it sideways, it would go up to like 70 opacity. You can see it's holding 0. Still holding 0. I did all the work on the inside of the PCB. I ended up cleaning both of them out, and then I had to take all of this apart here, and this inside of there, somehow inside of these little holes there was some debris that when you moved it like sideways it would do it. So I had to take all that apart, basically all of this apart, or what's inside of it, and then I had to put it back together. I didn't have to take this part apart, this, and then there's this, and then there's like 3 pieces. So basically you go through a filtering system so that you get the opacity correct. This video is not just for Westwood, but also so I can put it up on YouTube to explain what we do. I put this meter into calibration mode, and then I go through it. For my accuracy, I like to use a certain 5, but we do a 5 filter calibration. You always do 10, and then usually you move up to 21, and then 37, 50, and then 75 opacity. This is basically mimicking how dark smoke would be. Okay, this is a 14 right here. You get them certified every couple of years just to make sure that the colors, that's why I have my own tags on them. These rarely come out of the drawer, so they have stayed at their opacity, but this one changed, that one changed, and that one changed on the last checkup. So what I like to use is the 10, 14, 37, 50, and then 75. We used to do a 10, 20, and the 20 got broke, so I got a 21. And then we do 37, 50. I got the 30 just so that I can do a wider range of tests to see, make sure everything is on. But this is probably why nobody's been able to surpass our accuracy, is because we go through all of the filters. So I already did the calibration, and this is a 10 filter. And it's showing 10. I did 14 as well. I did 37. $50. And then 75. That's to mimic 75 opacity, how dark smoke would be. Now the way that these meters work, somebody was asking me on YouTube, was basically these are mimicking smoke, how much smoke is coming out of tailpipe, you know, so, or exhaust, diesel exhaust. And this has a LED light in the top. You could tell by where the connector is. The connector side has the sensor, the other side has a LED. So there's a light coming through here, and when I put that there, it's blocking the LED light at a certain opacity. Okay, this one is 75 opacity, so it's showing 75 opacity. So basically these are just measuring the amount of smoke that are coming out of the diesels. Now we have DPF, so they're cleaner, and we have the SCR system, which is like having a catalytic converter on a diesel. For those people who don't understand diesels, it's like having a catalytic converter, and they have a thing called diesel emissions fluid that is put into right before it goes into that area, and that way it turns CO2 into O2, so that these newer diesels are running very clean. So if you're all about the Green New Deal and green energy and things being cleaner, you can rest assured that these all of these trucks today, you can see how clear that is. All of these trucks to pass, they have to be at less than 5. And you can see that you couldn't even see this smoke if it was coming out of a truck. 10 opacity, 14, maybe 21 you'd be able to see, which I'll show you what that looks like. This, you could see on here, there's a little bit of a tint you could tell between the white and the, so it's a little bit of a tint. You might be able to see 20 opacity, but most opacity you're going to see is usually somewhere around 30. You see 20, you see 10, that's 14 right in between. So the 20, and then the 30, 35, so you can see here that's how dark it is. But when you're looking at it in the blue skies, you're not going to see it as clearly. Okay, so Westwood Truck, they, you know, this, I already put it through the calibration check. So now I go into it and I just do the final, which is a calibration check, and it's going to ask me for a 37 filter. You can put it at different ones. I usually put it at 10. As you can see, it says 37, 37. So if he's testing older vehicles, this is real good. I'll save it, and then now it's asking me if I want to print. They didn't send me a printer, so I have to use ours. This is the tech room one, and then it just asked me to print. Looks like my printer is acting up. I think the battery's low, so I'm gonna plug it in. Oh yeah, that's way off. Wow, it printed all the way to the right. Let's try it again. Calibration check. Then if you just want to report from the last check, you just go exit and then print again. And now it's printing in the middle. So a low battery will do a lot of things that'll piss off. Like, look at that print. See how nice that print is? Now look at this print. This is the last one it did. When I plugged it in at the end, it did it good, but it was off center. So this is the check report. Now the problem I'm having here is, you see 1st of January 2000. What that basically means with this meter is that we're having a memory issue on the motherboard. So after all this work I've done on this meter, I've spent about 3 hours, so